Hey ladies, so my name is Coach Miriam. Thank you so much for watching this video. I just want to let you know there are at least 3 streams of income that you can be tapping into right now in the season that you are in that you might be sitting on. The issue is that many times we doubt, and that doubt ends up delaying the very promises that God has for you or you being prosperous. There's no issue with you being rich and wealthy. As a matter of fact, there's more of an issue with you being poor and broke. And many times God will snatch the rug from under us so that way we can understand that we're in a season of change. But if I am obstinate or stubborn in my thinking or fearful of starting something new, then I am delaying myself from the very area that God actually wants to develop me in so that I can receive the promises, so that I can make an impact and make a profit as well, because he wants you wealthy, not weary, right? So many of you are weary in doing well. You are taking care of so many people. You're feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. You are a woman of influence. As a matter of fact, sometimes you can even be quite controlling and micromanaging because of anxiety, to the point that it is really taking up so much of your mental capacity and time. However, now is the time for you to hear this message so that you can do things differently. Because if your way is not working, it means that you're the perfect candidate for change to happen. And you are a change agent. Okay. So let me just tell you, the first stream of income, of passive income, that you need to consider is the fact that you have a book on the inside of you. Maybe somebody's saying, Coach Miriam, I don't know if I have a book on the inside of me. Well, actually you do, because if you've ever experienced a problem, just say yes in the comment section that you've experienced a problem, because life has been lifing since you were born. And sometimes we're wondering why we were even born into the family, or why certain events happened in our life that you didn't even plan for, where people betrayed you, walked away from you, you made mistakes. Maybe you felt like the collateral damage of somebody else's mistakes. So sometimes we just see the darkness, but we don't see the light, which is actually connected to the lesson that you learned from that experience. So you actually do have lessons. Like, just think for a moment, what is at least one lesson that you have that you would want to share with other people? You've probably given some advice even this week or last week. So if you are someone that has given advice, God is showing you a sign that you are someone, or you're sharing your story with someone, is going to save someone. But sometimes we doubt what is on the inside of us. We doubt that dream, but that dream keeps coming back to you on replay and repeat. Perhaps you shared your dream with the wrong person. They were like, oh, I don't see you doing that. Or that's going to take too much time. Or girl, that's doing too much. No, that is the enemy that wants you to be insecure, because he's insecure about your future, that he wants you to be insecure about your past. But you have a book on the inside of you that you could sell for $9.99, $19.99. Imagine having a certain success algorithm where people are now just pressing the link and buying your book, and you sell 100 books for $19.99. I think that's like what, $2,000? Don't come for me in the comment section if that's wrong. But can you use $2,000 where you didn't have to go nowhere, right, to clock in a 9 to 5? And some of you may have even lost a job. And I believe it's not about focusing on the loss, but focusing on what's in your hands. You do have a story in your hands, and somebody is waiting on that story because it's going to save them. Your lessons are going to help them, and your lessons are light. Y'all excuse my hair sticking up a little bit. What's another stream of income? You have a course on the inside of you. You are a teacher at heart. And you're someone who has taught, like, people come to you and they're like, how do you do this? How do you do that, right? Think about what you have taught somebody recently, or what you've taught someone repetitively. Because again, it is a signal. In case you are waiting for a sign, this is it, sis. You are a teacher. That means that God wants you to create a course. You can create a digital course and sell it for $199. Imagine selling just 10 of those courses online. You have a platform. You can talk about, use your personality, that same personality where you've only seen yourself as an introvert. So then you invert into yourself. However, the real self on the inside of you is waiting to share, is waiting to teach. It's waiting to give birth. But sometimes we end up aborting the very blessing that's on the inside of us because of being rejected by a spouse. Maybe you've gone through a divorce. Maybe people again have shunned you, ostracized, all of that. But the enemy wants us to focus on who left us instead of focusing on a God who is with us. Okay. But you will be restless until you give birth to that idea and that dream. That dream is going to haunt you. It's going to follow you. And sometimes we just think, okay, well, I'll just figure it out. But where has figuring it out gotten you? Because sometimes our figuring it out is sticking with what is familiar, okay? Because we're creatures of habit. So we end up doing that very familiar thing that we're so good at because you get that external validation from that familiar thing. However, it's over. It's over for that. It's a new season that you're stepping into where you're not working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, but instead you're working on you. You're investing in yourself and you're creating because you're made in his image. Let me tell you, speaking, get paid to speak, because as you are teaching and you're showing up on your platforms, whether that is YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, I'm telling you, God in his Kairos is going to align with the Chronos, and he's going to be like, okay, my daughter here, my daughter there is actually cultivating what I've placed on the inside of her. And now he's going to send you divine connection. Suddenly you get an email where somebody is like, hey, I want to pay you to speak. Like, I see you have a lot of experience in this area. Let me tell you, you have experience in something. And sometimes we want our roots to be just so deep, that because they're not so deep, because we haven't started, we end up doubting. However, he says to be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. So even just that act of obedience, your roots are going to grow deeper and deeper and deeper in him, because you're not doing it by yourself. He is with you. The reason why it's not working in other areas of your life, in corporate, in the government, just the very familiar thing that you're so used to, is because he wants you to give the life that you want to save so badly, like that rotten thing that really needs to be thrown out of the fridge, right? Sometimes we try to save it and save it and save it, but it's time. Let me just tell you, it's time. Every challenge in your life has an expiration date. You know that you are a woman of influence and of impact. And have you thought about how many people you want to impact? Do you have a vision? Do you have a time frame for that vision? And if not, it's just your time to not only hear this message, but to do something that is connected to it, because faith without works is dead. Okay, so you got to take action. And that being said, y'all, I have a free masterclass called the Faith, Focus, and Fabulosity masterclass, that if you want to impact at least 1,000 people and make up to $20,000 in about 3 months, yes, with a proven strategy, the link is below. Y'all, please like, share, and subscribe. Take care.